Ugh, ads are such poop. Subscribe to Acast Plus now to skip ads and more for just $1 a month. Click the link in our show notes to learn how. And hey, we're on Patreon too. Your support helps cover the cost of running a podcast. For $2 a month, you can get early access to all our episodes ad-free, plus bonus episodes exclusive to Patreon subscribers only. Visit patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse to sign up now. Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys?
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what happened last week?
Well, Job was talking.
He was talking.
Only it turns out we don't like him as much as we thought we did.
Why not?
Because he's kind of shit-talking people.
He is.
And I'm like, nah, that's not cool, man.
Bragging about his good deeds at the same time that he was dogging the people that he was good deeding.
Right, yeah, it was such bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're supposed to empathize with Job, and, you know, he lost all his kids, and he's got boils and all that.
I do empathize with that.
Right.
That doesn't make him less of an
You ain't
asshole.
got to shit talk, man.
Yeah.
Enough of that. Bullshit.
Get yourself together. And also, all that good deeds that you were doing, they don't count if you were doing it and, like, muttering under your breath.
Right.
Or thinking bad thoughts about the people you're helping.
Yeah.
Like, that's bad.
Right. Anyway, so that was Job chapter 30.
Sure as fuck was.
And today we'll be reading
Job chapter 31.
All right, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. All right, Job chapter 31.
Okay.
I guess he's in the middle of a quote. Job is still talking. Okay. I made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully at a young woman.
He made a covenant with his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Hey, yo, eyes.
Eyes.
I'm making a covenant with y'all.
Stop looking at pretty women.
Yeah.
I promise.
Right.
And you promise.
I'm making a covenant with you.
Eyeballs, you don't disobey my brain.
If you break my covenant, our covenant.
Yeah.
I'm
going to be very angry with my eyes.
I'm going to shut my eyes, you motherfuckers.
Okay, I know we're picking at this, but I'm sorry. How do you make a fucking covenant with your eyes?
You don't. It's that's stupid.
How about you made a covenant with your conscience that you were going to try really hard, either not to be lusty in the first fucking place, or not to look at images that trigger your lust.
Sure, yeah.
So you just made a promise to yourself, not your eyes.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, my eyes are separate from my conscience.
Yeah.
It's so like, men can't help it. Their dicks aren't attached to them.
That theme is all through the Bible.
I know.
Men can't help it.
They just can't help it.
I call bullshit on that.
Oh, I do too. Because if you are a fucking monkey,
the culture of men, the culture of maleness, the culture of toxic masculinity says you can't help it.
Right.
But the truth is you can.
Facts.
And if you tell me otherwise, I'm calling bullshit because it's bullshit.
Yeah, because either you're a human being in charge of your body parts, all of them, your eyes and your dick, or you're a fucking monkey, in which case you don't get to drive, you don't get to buy things, you don't get to vote, stay in your house and do monkey man things.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Pick one.
Right.
Are you a human or a fucking animal who can't control himself?
Yeah.
I don't make the rules, guys.
Right.
Men told me that they are just animals who can't control themselves. So I'm just calling them out on it and taking it to its natural conclusion.
Yeah.
If you are an animal not in control of yourself, you don't get to vote and drive cars.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You just don't.
Yeah.
And also I get all your money.
I'm okay.
I mean,
whatever.
Right?
You already get all my money.
I mean, I already get all your money, but I want all their money too.
Got it.
I want everybody's money.
Yeah.
Okay, continuing.
Uh-huh.
For what is our lot from God above, our heritage from the Almighty on high? Is it not ruin for the wicked, disaster for those who do wrong?
I guess.
Does he not see my ways and count my every step?
Not I mean, I don't know about that because I don't think
either.
he does actually.
I don't think he does either.
Yeah, I mean, some people think he does, but then we've talked about all the things he's missed, know, and he misses quite a bit.
He does.
So,
he does.
And, like big things, even when there was less people.
Yeah.
A lot less people, actually.
I don't think that he's actually quite as aware and involved, and I don't think he's quite as emotionally attached as humans give him credit for.
I don't think he's quite as existent.
Oh no, definitely. But within canon of this book, pretending that there is a God, right. I don't. From what I'm reading, God is not the one that counts the hairs on your head and you know the stars in the sky.
He's kind of like the drunk God that occasionally gets pissed off in a rager and then decides to care about certain things that all of a sudden he's going to get mad about.
The drunk dad.
Yeah, exactly.
You said the drunk God, but I think
he is a god. So
the drunk dad.
Yeah, right. Basically.
Yeah. He doesn't really give a shit until suddenly he really gives a shit.
Right.
And there's no in between.
Right.
And you can't guess if this is going to be the day that you walk home.
He is. He's like an alcoholic dad.
Right?
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Okay, let us preface that with neither of us has alcoholic parents.
No, but like my understanding of what having an alcoholic parent is,
Yeah, so. That you walk home not knowing which dad you're going to get today.
Right.
The nice, normal one who plays with you in the front yard or the scary, mean one who, beats you.
Yeah.
Or hurls curses at you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
That's what this God is. He's an alcoholic, drunk dad.
Yeah. Okay. We got it all figured out now.
We do. If I have walked with falsehood or my foot has hurried after deceit, let God weigh me in honest scales and he will know that I am blameless. We already know this.
We should, that sounds like a good brand for scales. Honest scales,
Yeah. They don't lie.
Right.
These scales tell the truth.
Right.
If my steps have turned from the path, if my heart has been led by my eyes, or if my hands have been defiled, then may others eat what I have sown and may my crops be uprooted.
Yeah.
So he's trying to call God's bluff some more. And if you really think I'm bad, fine. Let it be known.
But I mean, the thing is that God already kind of did that to him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's saying, go ahead and do this to me. But dude, he did that to you.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly. Yeah, it's like when you put somebody in jail and then they're like, fine, if I did so bad, go ahead and put me in jail. And it's like, we did, stupid. Okay, if my heart has been enticed by a woman, or if I have lurked at my neighbor's door, then may my wife grind another man's grain.
Wait, lurked at your neighbor's door? Why would you lurk at your, are you spying?
Mm-hmm.
Why? That's a thing, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because you could covet thy neighbor's wife.
Yeah, but that's a little too creepy.
Right.
Damn.
Uh-huh.
Lurking at their door.
I'm sorry, but I was stuck on my wife may grind another man's grain. I know what that means. I know what that means. That was not very not very
subtle.
Yeah. And may other men sleep with her. Oh, there's the rest of the sentence. Okay.
But I like calling it, that should be a saying. I'm going to go grind another man's grain.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm doing tonight. I'm going to go grind me some other man's grain. Yes, I am. And I might sleep with somebody too.
Right, yeah, that too. Yeah.
For that would have been wicked. A sin to be judged.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck around and find out.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is a fire that burns to destruction. It would have uprooted my harvest. If I have denied justice to any of my servants, whether male or female, when they had a grievance against me, what will I do when God confronts me? What will I answer when called to account? Did not he who made me in the womb make them? Did not the same one form us both within our mothers?
I mean, if in the God world, sure, I guess maybe, but it's normally more biology.
Right. Sperms and eggs and fertilization and zygotes and embryos and
I
stuff.
guess in the grand scheme of things, if we're assuming God set it all in motion, but
right.
he doesn't literally form.
Yeah.
I don't know. I suppose it depends on who you are and how you believe in God.
Right.
Maybe a lot of people think that God really does, form
do
something.
The electricity
like,
when those two tango.
Right, yeah. I don't know.
I don't either. This is kind of just more of the same, though. He's like, I haven't done anything wrong, and if I have, show me.
Right.
I mean, isn't that basically what he's saying?
Yeah, yeah.
If I have denied the desires of the poor or let the eyes of the widow grow weary, if I have kept my bread to myself, not sharing it with the fatherless, but from my youth I reared them as a father would, and from my birth I guided the widow. From my birth I guided the widow? I mean, the fuck?
That's a weird statement.
That is a very weird... Oh my God. Okay, so there was this video that I watched just this morning, actually, on YouTube. Uh-huh. And it was these two guys, and they're doing their game playing, like, COD. What is COD?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Thank you. I couldn't remember. I can only remember COD.
Yeah.
So they're doing that kind of game, where you hear them say reloading. And,
right, yeah.
They're doing that, like, hear them at the outside or whatever.
Right.
Where they're doing their soldier talky thing at each other. And then this other guy joins their party. And he's like, hey, fellas, can I play? And I promise it's going somewhere. And they're like, we need a third for our party. So I guess, yeah. And he's like, okay, just ignore the crying in the background because my wife just had a baby. And so he's like just this like not great player. And he's got a baby crying in the background. And the two guys are trying to, reloading. They're trying to do their soldiering game, with the baby crying in the background.
Right.
And finally they just scream at him, would you be a fucking father and take care of your goddamn child? And so then he's like, okay. And so then he goes away. And while he's gone, this baby comes, the baby that was crying comes, and they're like,
what the hell?
Yeah. They're like, what the fuck is this? And the baby's like, yeah, I heard you talking shit about me, but I got this. You want me on your team. And they're like, well, we need a third on our party, so okay. And the baby wipes the board with them. And they're like, baby, I'm so sorry I talked bad about you. You got mad skill, baby. And that just reminded me of this. Yeah. Because he's saying, from birth, I guided the widow. And I'm like, yeah, you did. And you beat them at COD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a long walk there.
It was, but it did come around. It did.
Did it, though?
It did.
Okay.
The baby
did
the thing.
Did the thing.
See?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a really funny video.
I got it.
I'm sure I ruined it, but
right,
it was really funny. Okay, so anyway, he's like, I'm awesome. I do great things. Okay?
Yeah.
If I have seen anyone perishing for a lack of clothing or the needy without garments, and their hearts did not bless me for warming them with the fleece from my sheep, if I have raised my hand against the fatherless, knowing that I had influence in court, then let my arm fall from the shoulder. Let it be broken off at the joint.
Wow.
Take my hand, take my heart, take my arm at the joint.
Right.
What the fuck? For I dreaded destruction from God, and for fear of his splendor, I could not do such things.
He did not do them for the right reasons.
Yep.
He did them out of fear of God.
Yep.
He
dreaded
that explains,
destruction.
Right. And that explains, though, why he was talking shit about those people that he was trying to help.
Yeah, because he didn't really give a shit about them. He was only doing it to look good in God's
That's how
eyes.
I feel about Christians in general, Jen. Yeah. I mean, like, they're doing it for the wrong reasons. You're doing it out of fear of God and not because you actually want to help people.
That's what gets me, though, because I'm like, by your own admission, it's a flawed plan because your God supposedly knows your heart.
Right.
So if he knows your heart, he knows you're a fucking two-faced liar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what are you doing?
That's the bit I don't understand.
I don't either. I can't make that connection.
Like, they do the same thing Job does. They make these judgments about people, and yet they're like, but I do all these good things to help them.
But I did help them.
And I definitely pray for them.
I did help that piece of shit garbage.
Right?
Right? I mean, that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? Just don't.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah, don't.
I mean...
Just be honest with yourself. You don't want to help these
everybody.
People, so don't help them.
Yeah. Just, I don't know. I don't want to say don't help the people that need help. But,
right. No, yeah.
I mean, and sometimes, you got to take the money from the bad place.
Sure.
But
it's just such a hypocritical
It's
point of view.
gross. It's gross. I hate it. I just hate it. The end.
Me too.
If I have put my trust in gold or said to pure gold, you are my security, which is what I do every time I have gold. I talk to it a lot and tell it, you're my security.
Because we have pure gold sitting around here so often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All the time.
Stacks of it even.
Stacks of it all the time. And I just tell it, you're my security. Don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What else do you say to your gold?
I call it my precious a lot.
Do you?
Yeah.
If I have rejoiced over my great wealth, the fortune my hands had gained, if I have regarded the sun and its radiance, or the moon moving in splendor, so that my heart was secretly enticed and my hand offered them a kiss of homage, then these also would be sins to be judged. For I would have been unfaithful to God on high.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't cheat on that God.
No.
I only believed in him.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other gods,
but we moved well beyond that. Like, they don't talk about those other gods much anymore, you know?
Right.
We haven't heard that in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we've grown past that in the Bible, maybe.
Maybe.
They're like, okay, well, we're not going to mention those other gods anymore.
Yeah. Remember that time when they existed? We say they don't anymore now.
Right.
We don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, just leave that out.
We don't talk about other gods.
What?
We don't talk about Bruno.
Oh, okay.
Like, hello? How do you not know a song from Encanto?
I kind of know the song.
You looked at me like I was crazy and had no idea what I was singing.
That was purely because you sung it shitty.
I beg to differ, sir. It was not shitty. It was fine. You just don't recognize tunes. Admit it to the audience.
Oh, I definitely don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. If I have rejoiced at my enemy's misfortune or gloated over the trouble that came to him, I have not allowed my mouth to sin by invoking a curse against their life. If those of my household have never said, who has not been filled with Job's meat?
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's really in there.
Oh my God, I got dizzy. Oh shit.
Fuck.
I have not been filled with Job's meat, honey. just to put it on the table there. Just to be clear.
Yeah,
okay?
That's good.
Have you?
No, definitely not been filled with Job's meat.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
But no stranger had to spend the night in the street, for my door was always open to the traveler.
So he could fill it with his meat.
How many strangers did he fill with his meat?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, this is terrible. How many times did his wife grind another man's grain? If I have concealed my sin as people do by hiding my guilt in my heart, because I so feared the crowd and so dreaded the contempt of the clans that I kept silent and would not go outside. Oh, parentheses voice. Oh, that I had someone to hear me. I sign now my defense. Let the Almighty answer me. Let my accuser put his indictment in writing. Surely I would wear it on my shoulder. I would put it on like a crown. I would give him an account of my every step. I would present it to him as a ruler. End parentheses voice.
Okay.
If my land cries out against me.
Yeah.
And all, I was just like, why was that in parentheses?
I don't know.
Okay. And all its furrows are wet with tears. If I have devoured its yield without payment or broken the spirit of its tenants, then let briars come up instead of wheat and stinkweed instead of barley. The words of Job are ended. The end.
The word that says that,
It
the
says
words
that.
of Job
The words of Job are ended.
are ended. Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting way to end it.
I don't think Job said all that.
He said he are ended. It ended, yeah.
I don't think Job wrote, and then Job's words ended.
Were ended, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Job wrote this.
Well, maybe he had somebody finish it up so he could go, put his beat in other people,
Yeah, he had somebody
That's
finish him off because he had to go fill people with meat. That's what I always need somebody to finish me off.
Oh.
JK.
Sometimes the Bible is just comedy gold,
It really is. We didn't even have to try.
Right? Yeah, no, it's good. All right. So anyway, that was Job chapter 31.
You know what? It sure as fuck was.
You know what? The only thing I'm going to retain is about Job's meat.
And grinding another man's grain. That
one's good too. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with
Job chapter 32.
Yeah, we'll see you guys then.
Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Yeah, I think so. Job's wife might have been grinding other people's grain.
She was.
And Job was filling his meat. Filling other people with his meat.
Yeah, he was.
All over the place.
Mm-hmm.
He was filling that meat.
He was filling them with his meat.
Yeah. That was an interesting chapter.
That was my takeaway.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there was more to it than that, but that's the gist of it.
Well, he's supposed to be asserting his integrity in that
He was
chapter.
asserting something.
He sure as fuck was. I don't know if it was integrity. I mean, we were talking about how he was doing it.
Maybe he was filling people with integrity.
That was not it either.
No, that wasn't it.
We were talking about how he was filling. Oh my God, you made me fuck up. I don't remember what I was saying. Fucking asshole. You cut me off and now I don't remember what I was saying. Such a dick. Okay, anyway, moving on. So that was chapter 31.
That was chapter 31.
It sure as fuck was.
And today we're doing
Job chapter 32.
Okay, let's go do this.
Yeah. Okay, Job chapter 32. But I remember what I was trying to say when
what were you going to say?
I'm an
asshole.
You are an asshole.
Yeah, no, you guys, okay, hold on. So when I cut off wife, sometimes like normally we kind of cut each other off a little bit, but sometimes
we talk over each other's end of the sentence.
Right. Sometimes though, I cut off an entire thought process for wife.
Yes.
And she hates me for it.
I do. if I could kill you with my laser eyes.
Oh, she almost did.
Yeah.
I almost died from laser eyes tonight.
Yeah, I gave you the glare.
Thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the thing that you remembered?
Okay, so it's not that big a deal.
No.
But we were talking about how he was doing integrity things for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
That's what we had been talking about.
Yes. He was doing integrity things for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Because he was scared of God.
Yes.
Okay.
So that would have been part of the intro.
It would have been part of the intro, but I cut her off.
But you cut me off.
So I'm the asshole.
You're the asshole.
And now we're reading chapter 32.
We are.
Right now.
We sure as fuck are.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
So these three men,
they
stopped answering Job because, he was righteous in his own eyes. Okay?
Or they were just sick of talking. I don't know.
I mean, the rounds are done.
Right?
So.
Yeah, like what else is there to say? They've said about everything you could fucking say.
I think he probably told them, bitch, bye.
Right?
And they were like,
that's
okay.
what I'd have said. I mean, basically, he did in not so many words.
Yeah. But Elihu,
that guy.
Son of Barachel the Buzite.
Barachel the Buzite, huh?
I said Buzite, but I like Buzite. he's the town Buzite.
There you go. Yeah.
Of the family of Ram, became very angry with Job for justifying himself rather than God. He was also angry with the three friends because they had found no way to refute Job and yet had condemned him. So this uppity motherfucker is just mad at everybody, even though it's none of his goddamn business.
He's just mad because he couldn't be right. And people like to be right.
No, he's mad because he wasn't part of the conversation because he was over there just listening to what was happening.
Right.
Not part of the conversation. Yeah. Uninvited.
Right.
ABC your way out of this place because you don't belong here.
Right.
Yeah. And so now he's like, you guys shunned me and did not include me, so I'm mad at you for this and you for that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what really happened.
Okay.
He didn't give a fuck about Job or his righteousness or whatever.
Right.
He's just sad at being left out.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it does suck to be left out. Like,
it does.
I understand how that feels, but you don't just get to, be in the Bible and be like, I'm mad at everybody, even though I wasn't part of the conversation. Suddenly, 32 fucking chapters in, we're going to talk about my name and my feelings on the matter.
Right.
Like, get the fuck out of here. Who do you think you are?
Right.
Okay, sorry. Now, Elihu had waited before speaking to Job because they were older than he, and also because they did not fucking invite him. 32 chapters in, we have proof that he was not invited.
Right.
But when he saw that the three men had nothing more to say, his anger was aroused.
Yeah, he's like, no, we're not done yet.
Something was aroused. Based on the last chapter, there was a lot of arousal happening.
Yeah, grinding the grain and stuff.
Filling people with meat.
Right.
So Elihu, son of Barachel the Buzite, said, I am young in years and you are fucking old. That is why I was fearful, not daring to tell you what I know. FYI, for any newbies, I like to add in F-bombs because that makes it more fun to read.
Sure, yeah.
So, obviously, the F-bomb that I just read was not in the Bible. I added
obviously,
it for
any F-bombs are not part of the Bible.
Right. They're just there for my entertainment.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
I'm the reader, so I get to do it.
All about wife.
It is. Yeah. It's my world. You just live in it. Okay? So anyway, he's like, I was scared, but now that you're done, I'm going to speak up. I thought to myself, I thought age should speak. Advanced years should teach wisdom. But it is the spirit in a person, the breath of the Almighty, that gives them understanding. It is not only the old who are wise, not only the aged who understand what is right.
I mean, I agree with that.
Okay, but he's like arguing and they're like, we never said it was, bitch.
Right.
Like, you just come over here and you're just like, hey, I know I'm young, but I can talk too. And we're like, okay, then
talk. Then talk, man.
Nobody said you fucking couldn't, asshole. Therefore, I, a youngin, say, listen to me. I too will tell you what I know. I waited while you spoke. I listened to your reasoning. While you were searching for words, I gave you my full attention. But not one of you has proved Job wrong.
Nope.
None of you has answered his arguments.
Nope.
Okay, that's great. Still, like, say your say.
Right.
Like,
is your argument just that you're going to say that you didn't get to say your argument?
That's what it sounds like, you little pissant. I mean, seriously. Do not say, we have found wisdom. Let God, not a man, refute him. But Job has not marshaled his words against me, and I will not answer him with your arguments.
Okay.
I'm annoyed with this kid.
What are you even saying, dude?
He's like still asserting I can talk.
Right.
Like, I'm annoyed by you at this point.
Right. Just stop saying you can talk and just say something.
Say your say.
For fuck's sake.
Shoot your shot or get the fuck out.
Yeah.
You know? They are more dismayed and have no more to say. Words have failed them. Oh, brilliant observation, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Must I wait now that they are silent? Now that they stand there with no reply? I too will have my say. I too will tell what I know. Oh my God. Is this whole chapter going to just be him saying, I can talk? Yeah. Can I talk? I'm going to talk.
He's going to break into that song from Hamilton. He's not throwing away his shot.
And then he's going to follow up with, we don't talk about boozites. For I am full of words, and the spirit within me compels me. The spirit within him compels him.
Okay.
I'm thinking it's your youth that makes you a fucking blabbermouth that can't get to the fucking point.
Right.
Inside, I am like bottled up wine, like new wine skins ready to burst. I'm like when you shake a soda and then you open it and it sprays everywhere.
Right.
That's what I'm like.
Yeah.
Like pop rocks that you pour into like a Sprite and then you shake it and then it goes everywhere.
I'm assuming that we got another chapter after this with him speaking.
Probably.
Because like
I'm not impressed.
This is just him saying, I need to speak. I'm going to speak.
You better let me speak.
Right.
Stop telling me not to speak just because I'm young.
Right.
Like nobody said it. 32 chapters
just
in.
Say what you got to say, man.
We've never heard your name. 32 chapters.
Right.
Never heard his name once.
Yeah.
He was not part of this conversation.
Nope.
I must speak and find relief. I must open my lips and reply. I will show no partiality, nor will I flatter anyone. For if I were skilled in flattery, my maker would soon take me away. The end. Okay. I hope lightning strikes his ass.
Yeah.
He is an annoying little punk.
Right. Yeah.
Not impressed.
He literally said that chapter was meaningless.
It was pointless and it needed to be red penned.
Right.
You know?
You could just take that whole thing out. The whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
and
dumb.
Just start with this kid over there.
He's going to speak now.
Yeah. He had some thoughts and now here are his words.
Right.
And none of these...
Like, there was no preface to the young people have nothing to offer, or like this. You're creating this friction here.
Yeah.
Why are we creating that friction there?
I don't understand.
Why does that need to be said?
I don't understand. I mean, I do agree with him that, like, age doesn't necessarily bring wisdom, and that just because you have some kind of title with your name, like Esquire for lawyers and doctor for doctors,
right?
Like, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're awesome and your shit don't stink.
But if you have something wise to say, it will show in what you say.
Yeah.
You don't have to preface it with, I'm young and I have something important to say and you should listen.
And I can be wise.
Because if it's smart, if it makes sense, then people will listen no matter what age you are.
Yeah. Generally.
Some people are ageist and won't listen to somebody who,
is either too old or too young. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I get it. But, like, there was literally... We, as readers in the Bible, which this is a book that we're reading, have no idea how old this fucking kid is.
Right. By so kid, he could be in his 30s. And I'm like, that ain't no kid.
So what does it matter how old he is?
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't. This chapter annoyed me.
It really did.
It was a waste of time and gave us nothing.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for making our whole fucking episode today about you wanting to speak.
Right?
That's boring, dude.
That's dumb. You're an idiot.
And I'm going to write, you're a manager, and I'm going to complain that you fucked up our podcast today.
Well, I think what I might do is leave a review that this chapter of this one was really pointless.
Yeah. Yeah.
I might do that.
I think you can find a place to review this online, this specific chapter. Probably.
I mean, I might just review the Bible, but specifically focus on this chapter.
Right.
There's a lot of bullshit, but this chapter in particular.
What was his name again?
I don't know. He's a boozer.
Yeah.
Elihu.
We could just put Elihu on blast on Twitter.
Oh,
you know? See, there you go.
Fuck Elihu.
Right. Elihu, come on.
He's a blabbermouth motherfucker. He doesn't have shit to say.
At least not yet, anyway.
I mean, I'm not inclined to be interested.
Right.
Based on this introduction.
Yeah, it was way too much.
Are you curious about what he has to say?
Not really.
Like, I'm inclined to, like, think, well, that introduction sucked so bad that you probably are stupid and your words to follow will be stupid also.
That's kind of how I feel about it.
Like, that's my expectation now.
Right. But they have saved it for the end, so maybe they're trying to
for all we
set
know,
us for, like, the best fucking insight in the whole thing.
For all we know, there's 3 more chapters of him going, I can talk, God damn it. Let me speak. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's not next chapter he'll say stuff.
You could be right, yeah.
I mean, based on what I've read on the Bible, it's just as likely either way.
Well, you know what? There's only one way to find out.
It's true.
Yeah, so that was Job chapter 32.
It sure as fuck was.
And tomorrow we'll be back with
Job chapter 33. Stay tuned.
We'll see you then.
Bye. Husband!
Wife!
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Yeah, Elihu? Is that how you say it? Maybe?
I was saying Elihu.
Elihu. Anyway, he was spending a lot of time trying to justify why he has something important to say also. But he didn't say shit.
Yeah, he didn't get around to saying it. He was just like, I totally have the right to speak.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay.
It's like, okay, so say something.
Like, we never said you didn't. Oh, listen to the kitty in our podcast. Aw. Hi, Dagny. Yeah, so, yeah, he didn't say anything except for, I can speak if I want to.
Right.
And even though that was like 30 chapters in and we've never even heard of this guy.
Yeah.
Until now.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
So probably today we find out about Elihu, whatever.
The boozer.
Yeah, that guy.
The boozite.
All right, well, let's go find out, okay?
Okie dokie.
All right, so that was Job chapter 32, and today we're going to be reading
Job chapter 33.
Let's go do it.
Indeed. Okay, Job chapter 33.
Okay.
But now,
Elihu
says.
Oh, he says.
He said he says.
He's going to say something?
Yeah, well, it continues like mid him talking.
Right. Well, hopefully he's actually saying something this time.
I hope so.
Right?
I mean, he's quoted. Doesn't mean he's saying anything.
Right. Right.
Okay, so he says, but now, Job, listen to my fucking words.
Okay.
And I added...
Say the words.
I added the F-bomb for any newbies that don't know because it's funner.
Yeah.
Okay. Pay attention to everything I say.
Okay.
I am about to open...
Jesus Christ, dude. Just fucking...
It literally says, I am about to open my mouth. My words are on the tip of my tongue. My words come from an upright heart. My lips sincerely speak what I know.
Okay.
That's the opening paragraph.
What the fuck, man? Just
Can
say
you
it.
just say it? It reminds me of... I've referenced this before, but it reminds me of in the movie Labyrinth, where the little trolls at the beginning are going, did she say it?
Yeah, I got nothing there.
You don't know that part?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I'm not as enamored with Labyrinth as you are.
Okay, it's before Sarah goes to that land.
I barely remember anything about the movie. Are
you kidding me? Oh my God.
Yeah.
So she's babysitting her half-brother or stepbrother. I think it's her half-brother. And she's comforting him. He's crying and he won't stop crying. And she's a spoiled brat. So she's like, oh, he never stopped crying. And so then she puts him down and she's like saying, you know, oh, I wish the Goblin King. Oh no, I mustn't say that. And then so she keeps almost saying it, and the little troll guys are like, did you say it yet? And finally she does say it. I wish the Goblin King, I keep calling them trolls, they're goblins. I wish the Goblin King would come take you. And that's the invitation for Jareth.
Got it.
Or David Bowie.
Yeah.
To come.
Right.
And he takes the baby. He takes Toby.
Oh, I take your word for it.
It's not ringing any bells.
No. I remember, the only thing I remember about that movie is that David Bowie is in it.
Oh my God.
That's literally, and like I kind of remember what he looks like. That's literally all I remember about it.
His codpiece is pretty great. I'm really distraught over this. Like, we have to watch that movie. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
The Spirit of God,
yeah.
Elihu continues, has made me. The breath of the Almighty gives me life.
Oh my God.
Answer me then, if you can. Stand up and argue your case before me.
Okay.
I am the same as you in God's sight. I too am a piece of clay. You're a piece of something. Mm-hmm. No fear of me should alarm you, nor should my hand be heavy on you.
Okay.
He's still not said what he's going to say.
Yeah. What's
he's
your point here?
I'm about to say it. Don't just everybody stand back. Yeah. Everybody stand back. I'm going.
It's coming.
I'm going to say it. Okay. But you have said in my hearing, I heard the very words, I am pure. I have done no wrong. I am clean and free from sin. Yet God has found fault with me. He considers me his enemy. He fastens my feet in shackles. He keeps close watch on all my paths. But I tell you, in this you are not right.
Okay.
For God is greater than any mortal. Oh, I didn't know that.
No, yeah.
I didn't know God was greater than him. That's
right?
like literally what makes him a god.
I mean, if he was a god.
Right. Yeah. Why do you complain to him that he responds to no one's words? For God does speak.
Does he? Really? When was this?
Now one way, now another.
Okay. Cryptic much?
Right. Very convenient.
Right.
Though no one perceives it.
Oh, see, this is what I love about like when you're talking to somebody who's religious.
Yeah.
They're like, God talks to you. You just don't hear it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
Can he turn up the volume?
Right? Like if he's talking,
I'm eager.
I'm completely missing this if that's for real.
Look, I am not closed to the notion that if that thing is out there, like all it has to do, he, she, whatever, is turn up the fucking volume.
Right, yeah. How about this? Why don't you spend a week with me and just like
tell me when he's speaking
to me?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Like, oh, he's talking? Okay.
Okay, and then I can look around and be like, is the voice from over there? Like,
right,
I don't.
Where's it coming from?
I don't hear it.
Where the fuck's the voice?
I don't hear the voice.
I don't either.
Like, I used to argue with my sister all the time because when she was just born with this like faith. And at the time, we were not a faithy family. We were a sciencey family.
Right, but we've talked about this before. She had a friend, though, that was very
She did, and
religious.
she would go to church with her. Not very religious.
Whatever. She went to church with her.
They went to church every Sunday.
Sure.
And my sister went with. So, as we got older, we were talking about faith and stuff, my sister, like, just had it. Like, it was just there. And I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So I would say it's like a light switch. And I'm like, well, nobody turned on my light switch. My light switch is like permanently off.
Yeah.
So like, if you are right, if there is a God and I'm the biggest dumb butt ever, right?
Sure.
I am open to that notion that I am wrong, but with proof.
Yeah.
You know? Like, if you just gave me proof, I would be like, holy shit, I am so sorry. I had it wrong all these years.
And here's the thing, though. If something good happens to me, that doesn't mean God's talking to me. If something bad happens to me, that doesn't mean God's talking to me.
Yeah.
It just means something good or bad happened.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Our fucking car blew up last week. It doesn't mean God was pissed off at me.
No. Because
you know what? Something else good happened. We got a check randomly in the mail for a lot of money, like the next day.
Yeah, that we were totally not expecting, like from the insurance company.
That's not God talking to you. It's just fucking random shit.
Right. It's very random.
But that's the kind of shit that they would be like, well, you just didn't hear God talking to you. He was telling you something.
But I'm like, you're right. I did not hear God talking to me. I'm pretty sure
fucking State Farm was telling me something. And my Honda Civic was telling me something.
Yeah. You
know?
That's exactly what happened.
Right.
They just both happened at the same time.
Right. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, every time something good happens in my life and I'm like telling my mom, like, oh, this good thing happened and I'm so happy about it. Yay. She's like, well, you know what I call it? And I'm like, I know. And then she says, it's a God moment or it's a God thing. And
but that's just like, why are people so eager to attribute things to something else?
Right.
Why? I don't get it.
I was just telling you about this great thing. It was so cool. I was happy. It was making me happy.
Right.
And now I can't just be happy. Like, I have to look for fairies in the garden too. I stole that from a Heinlein quote.
Got it.
Heinlein. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, he's going on and he's like, God talks. Okay.
Yeah.
In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they slumber in their beds, he may speak in their ears.
I've never had God speak to me in my sleep.
In my ears.
Ever.
I've never had him speak in my ears.
Right.
Awake or asleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He may speak in their ears and terrify them with warnings. Why he gotta terrify me?
Right?
His very existence would be like, okay, that's powerful.
Yeah. Right. But even if, which he hasn't, but even if he showed up in my dreams, I'd still be like, that was a fucking dream.
What did I eat before I went to bed?
Why am I dreaming of God? Well, I mean, we do a podcast about,
Right.
God.
So it would not be unexpected for that to be a dream.
Right.
But in all the time that we've been doing this, have you ever had a dream about God?
Never.
Me neither. You know what I dream about? I dream about being stuck in a library that sometimes connects to a mall that sometimes connects to my old high school. Like, It's weird.
Yeah.
They're all interconnected. Like, I could draw you a map of how they're connected at this point.
Yeah.
There's also a house that I sometimes dream of that's sometimes connected to it. But there are 2 rooms in that house that are so fucking haunted that, I mean, terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Like, those are my nightmares.
My wife has a movie that she goes to every night.
No, it's true.
I don't really understand it. But
and, like, I have that sleep paralysis thing.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes my mind wakes up, but my body is still frozen asleep. And I'm trying so hard in my dream state.
Right.
It's weird. I'm trying to move my body in my dream. So my body thinks that I'm trying to move it, but it's frozen in sleep. And so I'm like going through quicksand, like stuck.
Right.
It's so terrifying and horrendous.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yep.
Okay. So anyway, that's not a God thing. That's just like, I need to use a CPAP machine to breathe better.
Right.
So anyways, okay. So terrify them with warnings to turn them from wrongdoing and keep them from pride. To preserve them from the pit, their lives from perishing by the sword. Another nightmare that I often have is my teeth crumbling out of my mouth.
Right.
Yes, that one is very terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't take that as God talking to me and trying to warn me of anything or wrongdoing or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Or someone may be chastened on a bed of pain with constant distress in their bones. I mean, my bones sometimes hurt. But that's because I'm getting old.
Right.
You know, I'm closing in on 50.
Yeah.
You know, it's in the near future. It's not far away.
Yeah.
My bones hurt.
Sure.
I mean, don't your bones hurt?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a little bit older than you, but you do a lot more physical activity than me, and you like really abused your body over the years picking up heavy shit.
I have.
So do your bones hurt, sir?
They do.
Is it because God is warning you?
No.
It's because you're getting old, right? We're old people.
Yes.
So that their body finds food repulsive. That will never happen. And their soul loathes the choicest meal. I cannot even imagine such a thing.
I don't even know what a soul is. Like,
No.
People talk about the soul, and I'm like, what the fuck is the soul?
I think of a soul as like your conscience. Like,
right, but like, what is that?
I think of that as like when your inner voice, your inner monologue.
Okay.
Like your thoughts.
Sure.
You know, your thought process.
Right.
Like,
but it's not something tangible.
No. And I don't think that they would say that your soul is tangible.
But some people do claim tangible to it because they're like, well, your soul must continue on. There's energy can't be destroyed. And it's like, it's not exactly energy.
No.
It's
an idea.
Right.
It's like an idea exists. It is a thing, but it's not tangible.
Right.
And an idea can travel from one person to another.
Sure.
It doesn't need energy.
Right.
It just catches a ride on how I communicate to another person.
If you're going to say that your soul carries on, it's because other people carry it on for you. It's not like...
That's what I'm saying.
Like your
legacy.
Your legacy is your soul, essentially. Yeah. Like, that's how I would choose to look at it if I was to look at it in any way whatsoever.
Sure.
Because I don't know what the fuck a soul is, and it doesn't make any sense to me because it's nothing that can be measured or, seen. You can't see it. There's nothing to be seen there.
I think that your soul is more than one thing. Like, I think that your soul is all your hopes, all your dreams, all your regrets, all your deepest shames, all your greatest accomplishments. I think it's what you tell yourself to sleep at night. I think it's how you talk to yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror. I think it's self-motivation. I think it's depression. I think it's all of these things. Like, I think it's ideas. I think that it's your legacy. It's everything.
It's who you are.
It's the essence of what makes you self-aware.
But that doesn't mean that it's a separate entity in your body existing.
I don't believe that it is.
I mean, that's a convenient word to use to embody all those feelings.
Sure.
But unfortunately, it gets wrapped up in very religious ideas.
Right.
And that's where the breakdown happens for me.
Yes, I agree. Totally. So, but I would never turn away from food. I would never find food repulsive. I know, you said that. I know. I just thought it bore repeating because we strayed.
Yeah,
so
we did.
I just wanted to make sure that
everybody knew that.
I love food. I'm a foodie. I really am. Like, I don't just love food. I love the process of eating. I love preparing food.
Yeah.
I love tastes. Yeah. Like, I like trying new things.
Right.
Okay. Their flesh wastes away to nothing, and their bones, once hidden, now stick out. That's called anorexia.
Or starvation, if you don't have food to actually eat.
Yes. So you're either very, very economically oppressed, or you have a mental disorder.
Or maybe they have cancer or something, and they just are not able to eat because they're sickly.
That is true. You're right. It's not that they don't want to eat, it's that they are not able to hold it down because of a physical element.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. They draw near to the pit and their life to the messengers of death. What's a messenger of death?
I don't know.
A harbinger?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever.
I don't know. Yet if there is an angel at their side, a messenger, 1 out of 1,000, sent to tell them how to be upright, and he is gracious to that person and says to God, spare them from going down to the pit. I have found a ransom for them. Let their flesh be renewed like a child's. Let them be restored as in the days of their youth. If that angel says that, then that person can pray to God and find favor with him.
But only if the angel finds you.
Right. And where was that in Moses' book of
I don't
the
know.
law?
And how is that fair in any way whatsoever? Like, if you're the 1 in 1,000 people that the angel decides to find, apparently you got to pass.
Yeah, but it was just happenstance and luck.
Right. And how's that work out now, with overpopulation in the world?
Right.
Like, there was so many less people back then. So, like, we're all fucked, apparently.
I guess.
Unless you find one of these random angels.
And how many angels are there? And again, I'm just going to go back to, I didn't realize that they were walking around playing heads up 7-Up with us, or duck fucking goose.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so the angels find favor with him. They will see God's face and shout for joy. He will restore them to full well-being.
Okay.
Maybe they took a Tylenol.
Yeah,
That could be.
You never know.
And
maybe they ate some moldy bread. Got some of that penicillin in them.
Or maybe a colonizer brought them a candy bar.
Yeah.
That happens.
Be. Yeah.
And they will go to others and say, I have sinned. I have perverted what is right, but I did not get what I deserved. God has delivered me from going down to the pit, and I shall live to enjoy the light of life.
That's great. That's great.
I liked my accent for that because it just seemed to feel good.
Did it? It felt good?
Fit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did.
Yeah.
God does all these things to a person twice, even 3 times. As long as we're doing it twice or 3 times, why not 4 or 5? So you almost
die, and then one of his angels finds some of them, and then
multiple times.
But wait, he does it to each person 2 or 3 times. So so then it's not as random as they're saying.
Yeah.
What is he saying exactly?
I'm not really sure what he's saying.
Okay.
I think he's saying the same thing that the other boys did.
Right.
If you are having bad things happen to you, it's because you fucked up.
Right.
And you're reaping what you sow.
You need to, repent right now.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So that an angel can get on your back.
I guess. Yeah.
I mean, that
maybe.
He's not really saying anything that the other guys didn't say. He's just saying it a different way.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Turn them back from the pit that the light of life may shine on them. Pay attention, Job, and listen to me. Be silent, and I will speak. You did.
You spoke.
You spoke a lot because you spent a good half hour just saying you were going to speak.
Yeah.
If you have anything to say, answer me. Speak up, for I want to vindicate you. But if not, then listen to me. Be silent, and I will teach you wisdom. The end.
Oh, he's gonna
teach him. Uppity little snot.
Yeah, he is.
Who the fuck do you think you are, sir?
I mean, I don't know. Who do any of them think they are?
They're all shit. I know exactly. I know God's will. Oh,
right.
Do you? Because I think that that's blasphemous.
Yeah.
The statement that you just made, you're speaking for God? How darest thou?
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's bullshit. So that was Job chapter 33.
Sure as fuck was.
And we will be back tomorrow with
Job chapter 34.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Sure as fuck will. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Elihu finally got around to saying something.
But it was just more of the same bullshit.
Yeah, it's more of the same bullshit. But apparently, you either you get 3 chances in your life because God gives you 3 chances, or you're only one of 1,000 people that angels touch, and maybe then you get a chance.
Oh,
but we're not sure exactly because it could be one or the other. I don't know.
I really like the idea of a bunch of invisible angels running around just tagging people.
Right.
You're it. Yeah. You're it. You're it.
Right? Yeah. Really fucking weird.
I'm picturing them just running around I wonder what kind of sneakers they're wearing under their robes.
Right.
Yeah. I can't get that image out. Somebody art me up that image of angels running around wearing sneakers and tagging people.
Right, yeah. So anyway, that was Job chapter 33.
It sure as fuck was.
And today we're going to be reading
Job chapter 34, motherfucker.
All right, let's go do this.
Okie dokie. Okay, Job chapter 34.
Okay.
Then
we're back to the then. Okay.
Back to the then. Then Elihu said, "Hear my words, you wise men."
He's still talking?
He's still talking.
I thought he was done.
He got 3 chapters
God
to
damn
himself.
it.
I hate this guy.
We didn't have to hear from the whole fucking the book of Job, and now we're Elihu.
Yeah, and I'll
Fuck
tell
Elihu.
you who. He's garbage.
Right?
That's who.
Yeah.
Listen to me, you men of learning, for the ear tests words as the tongue tastes food. The ear tests words?
I mean, I guess that's kind of true.
That's a really weird analogy.
It's a weird way of putting that.
I'm not sure I agree with his.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't.
We're gonna not use that one.
Nope.
I like the grinding people's, grinding the grain,
grinding
someone
other
else's
men's
grain.
Yeah,
that was good. Good, but
and him filling you up with his meat.
Right? Yeah, that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is not so good.
Nope. Let us discern for ourselves what is right, Dum-Dum continued. Let us learn together what is good.
But
Job,
wait, you're going to learn and you're going to discern for yourself? Doesn't God tell you guys what's good?
He's going to tell you. This kid's going to tell you.
Oh.
Ready?
That's pretty presumptuous of him, I would say.
You're just an old fart. You know nothing.
I am an old fart.
This kid is young and he's going to tell you a tell.
Well.
Okay? He's going to say a say.
These damn kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
He knows everything.
Okay? He sounds like it.
Yeah.
And he told us that he knew everything for like a whole chapter.
Yeah. And then he said, listen. Right? Okay, and now he's like, I am telling you the tell.
Well, now he's telling us that our ear holes taste things like tongues. So.
All right, he's about to mimic and mock Job, okay?
Oh, that tasted good to my ear.
Job says, okay, he's quoting Job.
Right.
Job says, I am innocent, but God denies me justice. Although I am right, I am considered a liar. Although I am guiltless, his arrow inflicts an incurable wound. Is there anyone like Job who drinks scorn like water?
Wow.
You are rude, sir. You are making fun of this guy covered in boils straight to his face. Like, wow. He keeps company with evildoers. He associates with the wicked. Based on what?
Bring the fucking receipts, you dumb fuck.
Right?
Tell me where you got this information. I want to know.
Exactly.
Come on, Elihu.
For he says, there's no profit in trying to please God. So listen to me, you men of understanding.
Okay.
You old farts.
Yeah.
Far be it from God to do evil, from the Almighty to do wrong.
But you're wrong.
I know, right?
Like you're wrong.
We happen to read ahead and behind, and
and we know you're wrong.
Yeah, actually, God is doing evil.
This is my problem with a lot of people. Like, maybe you just don't speak on what you don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of that too. I think we're all guilty.
You talk out your ass so much.
Yeah. I think everybody's guilty. Too. I think everybody's guilty of that. Yeah. But
to get up in somebody else's face and be like, this is what God wants.
I couldn't imagine speaking for... Okay, let's assume that I believed in a God, right? Mm-hmm. I couldn't imagine speaking for said God.
Right.
Because, it's the God thing.
Yeah.
And they're hypothetically all-powerful, all-knowing, all-seeing, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be fucking wrong if I was speaking for a God.
Exactly.
Because that doesn't seem like it's going to be a good plan.
It doesn't. It seems like you're supposed to be humble and not know.
Right.
I mean...
That's been my theory on how to handle any such God, should they exist, is like, oh, well, if you're there, then I'm just going to, I bow to your knowledge. But, since I don't believe you, I don't do that.
I don't know that I would bow even if I did find out there was a God. I would be I have a few questions and a few things I need to get off my chest.
But if you did respect and love a God that did actually exist, would you speak for it?
I would never.
Right?
I would not, unless it was specifically, this is specifically the words that he told me. Okay? I would say, I know. I wouldn't say I know what God wants. I would say, look, I'm not speaking for him. I don't know what he wants. I can only tell you what he specifically told me.
Right. And even then, it might be directions for you and not everybody.
Right, exactly. So, he might have just been telling me to shut the fuck up.
Right.
Or, whatever. He might not have been saying all women need to shut the fuck up or all humanity need, I'm not speaking for him.
I get a little bit bent out of shape when people are like, God wouldn't want you to do this, or God says this is bad, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, when did God tell you this? Did you get it on an audio? Did you record it? Because, you're saying he says these things, but I don't really believe you actually heard them. I believe that somebody told you that God thinks these things, and so you're playing this game of fucking telephone that's really piss poor.
Yeah, yeah.
So, whatever.
I totally agree with you, 100%.
Yeah.
So this kid, Elihu the Boozer, is saying, he repays everyone for what they have done. He brings on them what their conduct deserves. So he's just giving more of the same of you reap what you sow.
Right.
It is unthinkable that God would do wrong, that the Almighty would pervert justice. He fucking did, though.
Right.
He did, literally.
Yep.
Who appointed him over the earth? Who put him in charge of the whole world? If it were his intention and he withdrew his spirit and breath, all humanity would perish together and mankind would return to the dust. Based on what? You don't know.
Yeah.
Like, just because you leave the house doesn't mean that all your battery drawn objects stop working.
You know, I have to say, if God is so righteous and right and gives people what they deserve, what about the babies that drowned during Noah's flood?
Exactly.
Did they do something wrong?
Exactly.
Other than being born?
They should have not been born.
Or maybe there was no babies at that time. Maybe there was like a 20-year break of babies.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that either. But I have to. So if we're gonna go with the God theory and the flood theory and all that shit,
yeah, it all really happened. Sure.
You have to believe that God drowned babies.
Yeah.
And therefore, to say that He never does something to say that He punishes only those who deserve it, you're saying that those babies that died in that flood deserved to fucking die.
Or how about the whole Passover thing?
Right.
Where all of the Egyptian children and babies that died.
Yeah, what did they do? Be Egyptian? Jesus.
Yeah. Sorry. Ugh.
Right?
This is bullshit and I hate it.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
If you have understanding, hear this. Listen to what I say. Sorry, my throat went out.
Yeah.
Can someone who hates justice govern? Yes.
I guess
we have a lot of people in power
Trump's
today.
a good example of that, isn't he?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I guess you could call what he did governing.
I mean, they're in charge. Are they doing a great job? No.
Right.
But are they governing? Yes.
Right.
Will you condemn the just and mighty one? He's not just, and he's not really that mighty.
Not only that, but he's not condemning them.
Right.
He's actually like saying that God is all powerful and good.
Like,
and
really what Job is saying is...
I just want an explanation,
Yeah, Job is basically saying, like, I clearly don't understand what the fuck, because I didn't deserve all this, to my knowledge.
Right.
And I would love to ask him these questions and get some fucking answers. And
yeah.
I've been blameless all my life, so I believe that I fucking deserve answers.
Yeah, condemning him is such strong words that Job never used.
Yeah. This kid is dumb and I hate him.
Yeah.
Is he not the one who says to kings, you are worthless, and to nobles, you are wicked, who shows no partiality to princes and does not favor the rich over the poor, for they are all the work of his hands?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of... I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Because, like, there were specific rules for the poor back in the Levitical law that you were to leave food for them out on the outskirts of your whatever's, your orchards,
shit.
your gardens, whatever.
Yeah. That
they could pick up to eat. So that means that it doesn't mean that they were bad. It just means that they were poor.
Right.
So to say that he treats everyone fairly, why is this person rich and that person's poor? Well,
the only thing is that they're supposed to switch positions like every 7 years. So, no?
I don't think that's the case, no.
Oh.
No, there was a law that if you lost your land due to you didn't have enough money to run it, and then somebody took it over, you have the right to reclaim it after 7 years of being a slave.
I just had a prettier image in my mind.
Yeah, no, they don't switch the poor for the rich.
Damn.
Yeah, no, the rich are always the rich.
You know what? I was confusing that with that one holiday that if you ever saw the Disney movie, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, at the very beginning of the movie, there's like this celebration, and I forget what it's called, but it's for one day, the poor and downtrodden all get to like be in charge and throw tomatoes at the king and stuff or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And I think I just had that kind of confusion. Like I had that image in mind.
Right. Well, you keep me on my toes. I gotta call out your bullshit sometimes.
No,
that is definitely not right.
It's not bullshit. It's talking out of my ass.
Right.
Which we talked about that we both do.
Yeah.
So there it is.
Right.
Okay, continuing on. Elihu says, they die in an instant, in the middle of the night. The people are shaken and they pass away. The mighty are removed without human hand. His eyes are on the ways of mortals. He sees their every step.
So
does he though?
He's saying that people die randomly all the time because God's like, you're bad.
Boom, dead.
But I don't see that happening. God would rather, and it's been said that God would rather punish the children of that person than the person that's doing the bad.
Yeah, that was
that was even back during Moses' time.
Yeah, that was the whole point of making the clan tighter and making them more responsible for their choices, because every step that they took, they knew impacted future generations.
Right, and it's even been said in Job. Like, that's been referred to in Job. So the same idea is still there.
Right.
Yet he's saying, like, they walk this fine line of saying he'll punish them immediately, but no, he'll punish them down the line.
Yeah.
And we're like, which one is it? Sometimes he punishes immediately, sure, like
that kid that, dropped the ark or tried to pick up the ark.
Right. Yeah, Uzzah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, sometimes people get punished immediately, sometimes they don't, but there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it.
Right. Yeah,
Just
I
whatever
agree.
God's feeling that day.
Yeah, whatever he's in the mood for. Whatever the people need to believe that day.
Yeah.
Okay, there is no deep shadow, no utter darkness where evildoers can hide. God has no need to examine people further, that they should come before him for judgment. Oh, excuse you.
So you already...
You don't even
need to talk
huh?
to him. He already knows.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, how do you know that, kid?
Right?
Without inquiry, he shatters the mighty and sets up others in their place. Because he takes note of their deeds, he overthrows them in the night, and they are crushed. He punishes them for their wickedness where everyone can see them, because they turned from following him and had no regard for any of his ways. They caused the cry of the poor to come before him, so that he heard the cry of the needy. But if he remains silent, who can condemn him? If he hides his face, who can see him? Yet he is over individual and nation alike, to keep the godless from ruling, from laying snares for the people. You have any thoughts?
I don't know that he's making a ton of good points here, honestly.
Yeah.
It's like, God's punishing nations and kings and leaving
God
snares,
is powerful,
and
blah,
whatever.
Blah, blah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, he's going to keep people who are not godly from ruling, I guess, or something.
Okay, I have to be totally honest with you.
Yeah.
When I was just reading that last couple of sentences, that paragraph,
right,
I accidentally spaced out.
Yeah.
Because it struck too close to sitting in church and hearing like pastors talk, and every time that happens, like, I will try so hard, pay attention.
Right.
And the more that I try to pay attention, the more I space out, and I don't mean to. So I don't know what was just said, except that it sounded pastorish.
No, I got it. That reminds me, like, when I have been to church, and I've been to church.
So have
I get immensely bored when they're reading passages. Like, it's so bad.
Do you ever fight to stay awake?
Every fucking time.
Do you ever have to, like, bite your tongue or the inside of your cheek or, like, pinch yourself?
I generally am leaning on my hand, and I'm, like, pulling my eyebrows up so I can keep my eyes open. I'm like, oh my God, finish this shit. What are you talking about even? Because they're usually reading from, like, the King James Bible or something, right? And it's like a bunch of me, thou, and whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is miserable.
Like, just talk. Talk. I could stay awake for a discussion.
Not only that, but, like, at least we talk about it as we're going through it. They don't talk about it. They just read the whole fucking passage. I'm like, great, that was so dumb.
Like,
but okay.
I couldn't tell you if it was dumb or not, because none of it went in.
Right.
Because I spaced out.
True.
I'm just being honest.
It's basically like they read it as, like, show,
mm-hmm.
and then they're like, if you want to learn more, come to the Bible study on Wednesday.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's whatever.
And I don't want to come to the Bible study on Wednesday.
No, you should come to the Bible study every day with us.
Yeah, you should. Suppose someone says to God, I am guilty but will offend no more. Teach me what I cannot see. If I have done wrong, I will not do so again. Should God then reward you on your terms when you refuse to repent? You must decide, not I. So tell me what you know. Men of understanding declare, wise men who hear me say to me, Job speaks without knowledge. His words lack insight. Oh, that Job might be tested to the utmost for answering like a wicked man. To his sin he adds rebellion. Scornfully he claps his hands among us and multiplies his words against God. The end.
But they're the ones that are fucking... Like, this is so aggravating.
This is very annoying.
And...
because they're all wrong.
But it's reminding me of the flaws that are in people.
Mm-hmm.
People have these flaws. People have this need to tell you what you're doing wrong, what you have done wrong, what you probably did wrong.
And they know everything.
Right. And then what you should do. This is what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
You should listen to me. That's what you should do.
Yep.
Because God wants you to do this. But I'm the one telling you to do it.
Yeah.
And obviously I know better than you do, even though it's your life.
Yep.
I hate it. I hate that shit.
I do too. Like I can't say I catch myself. Our kid catches me all the time. Like I'm always like, you should blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, should I? And they're like, can you please not tell me what I should and shouldn't do?
Right.
With regard to like life decisions, not when I say like, you should bring your laundry down. That's different.
I think that I've actually come a long way with how I regard conversations with our kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couch my advice as I say it in a manner of why I tell them why I would want them to do it.
Yeah.
Not that they need to do it, not that they have to do it, not that they need to do what I want them to do, but I tell them what it is, and I say, and this is why I would want you to do it. Like I explain it.
Yeah.
And then I figure, our kid is really smart. They can make an informed decision from there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's as much as I can do as a parent, especially with an 18-year-old.
Yeah.
They're going to make their own decisions.
Yep.
And I don't have any control over that. The best I can do is try to offer it in such a way that they don't fight me on it.
You're better instantaneously. I'm better at like backtracking and apologizing. So like when they do call me out and be like, you keep telling me I should, and I don't wanna, or I think you're wrong, or that's not the way to talk to me. But no, what I'm saying is, I listen to their feedback on that, and I'm like, no, you're absolutely right, and I need to not do that, and here's my feelings on it, and I just get frustrated on your behalf because I want what's best for you or whatever.
Right.
And so
you do apologize really well.
Yeah. Between the two of us, what I'm saying is you're better in the moment, but I'm not. Yeah, but I am good at apologizing.
I only don't have to apologize because I'm the perfect dad.
Oh my God. Shut the fuck up. I mean, you're 99.99% right, but that's what sucks.
All right. Well, anyway, we've gone on long enough. So that was Job chapter 34.
Sure as fuck was.
And we will be back tomorrow with
Job chapter 35.
All right, guys. We'll see you then.
Yep. Bye. Husband.
Wife.
Do you remember what happened yesterday?
Elihu. He was he was going on and on about shit that Job did wrong, apparently, but not really, because he doesn't know what he's fucking talking about.
And he said that Job was condemning God, which absolutely didn't happen.
Right? Yeah.
I'm like,
and then we're waiting.
Did you read the same thing, you dumbass?
Right? And then we're waiting today to find out if Job smacks his ass.
I really hope he does.
Right?
Do you think he will?
No.
God damn it.
It's never that, we gotta, that's why we need to write that Bible of ours.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible, the Sacrilegious Discourse Bible.
Yes.
And we need to make it more exciting.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. We'll put in like a false chapter and be like, that's what should have happened.
Right.
But anyway, here's what really happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So that was Job chapter 34.
Shut up, cat. And today... wait. You said 34. It sure as fuck was.
Yes, it was.
Mm-hmm.
And today we're reading
Job chapter 35 with the help from our cat, apparently.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, meow. Okay, Job chapter 35.
Okay.
Then. It's still Elihu.
Is it still Elihu?
Because he says, do you think this is just? You saying, I am in the right, not God.
So just to clarify, Job did not smack him.
We don't know. It hasn't happened yet.
Not yet, anyway.
Maybe next chapter.
Okay.
Sigh.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like making fun of Job. You say, I'm in the right, not God. Yet you ask him, what profit is it to me, and what do I gain by not sinning? I would like to reply to you and your friends. I would like to reply to you and to your friends with you. Sorry, that was bad phrasing and it made me stumble.
Right, yeah.
Look up at the heavens and see. Gaze at the clouds so high above you. I was thinking of donuts.
Right, yeah.
Glazed donuts.
Yep.
Gaze at the clouds, blah, blah, blah. If you sin, how does that affect him? If your sins are many, what does that do to him?
I thought he's offended, isn't he?
I don't fucking know.
I mean, according to, the Bible.
Right, I'm not sure what he's getting at.
I don't either.
If you are righteous, what do you give to him, or what does he receive from your hand? Your wickedness only affects humans like yourself, and your righteousness only other people.
Then why does he fucking care?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not sure what he's getting at here.
Right, yeah.
I'm just trying to figure it out as I go.
Sure.
People cry out under a load of oppression. They plead for relief from the arm of the powerful. But no one says, "Where is God my maker, who gives songs in the night, who teaches us more than he teaches?" Who teaches us more than he teaches the beasts of the earth and makes us wiser than the birds in the sky.
Okay.
I mean, I say that. Just kidding. I don't. He does not answer when people cry out because of the arrogance of the wicked. Oh, that's why.
Okay.
That's why. If only the wicked weren't arrogant, then he would answer our question.
I see. It
Yeah.
sounds like bullshit to me.
It also sounds like false correlation.
Right.
Indeed, God does not listen to their empty plea. The Almighty pays no attention to it. Well, that's fucked up.
Because they're wicked, apparently.
But that's fucked up.
Right. Yeah, I don't I don't know. Just because somebody, well, I mean, you apparently there's the ability to redeem yourself in God's eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
So just because somebody is wicked doesn't mean that they would always end up being that way.
Right.
So why are they any less deserving of a chance than somebody else?
Right. What about the story of the prodigal son, which we haven't got to yet, but the whole point of that is that somebody who returns to the flock after having been away is celebrated. Right.
Which is bullshit in and of itself.
It is. It is.
But I mean, honestly though, how as a society we like the redeemed person, right? The person who has corrected their views about how they were.
Yeah.
And
the redemption arc story from within.
Right. We love that.
We do. We all do.
And apparently,
we all love a good comeback.
According to God, sometimes he likes that story too.
Sometimes
he just punishes
willy-nilly.
Right out. Okay, we're just gonna punish.
And fuck you, and fuck you,
right,
and fuck you.
Right.
Fucks for everyone.
Yeah. But what justifies his immediate response and bad, wrath, versus I'm gonna let you go, but then someday you might redeem yourself.
Right.
What distinguishes between those two things?
Oh, I know what the Christian answer is.
What's that?
Because God knows who's worth saving.
If he knows all things ahead of time, then why doesn't then what does anything matter?
It doesn't.
Okay.
To answer your fucking question, it just doesn't.
then there's either whatever. Okay. It's all bullshit.
It's the whole free will versus destiny question.
Right.
And you can't have both. And Christians try to have it a little bit of both.
Right.
Depending on the day. Because you're responsible for your actions, and yet you're not, because God already knows what's happening anyways. So who fucking cares?
Right. And it's whichever one they feel like throwing out.
Yeah. How much less then will he listen when you say that you do not see him, that your case is before him and you must wait for him, and further, that his anger never punishes and he does not take the least notice of wickedness. So Job opens his mouth with empty talk. Without knowledge, he multiplies words. The end.
Okay,
so,
but...
Hold on. So let me get this straight, Elihu. You are talking shit. We literally know that you're mistaken.
Right.
And you're saying that Job is talking shit.
When there's literal examples of wicked people not being punished immediately like Job was.
Yeah.
So, he has actual examples that he could bring receipts for.
Yeah.
Whereas Elihu is I know you were bad because you got punished.
Yeah. So there.
That makes no fucking sense.
No, it does not at all. Yeah. This book is dumb and I hate it.
Agreed.
Okay.
And it's just annoying, you know?
It
Like,
is.
I still understand what they're getting at here,
No,
sort of.
I understand what they're trying to get at in
Right,
that childish way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But that's the problem. It's fucking childish.
agreed.
It's okay. Apparently, people hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago were fucking unsophisticated dum-dums.
Well, yeah.
And they had never, had any example ever. And so they just didn't know how to put stories together.
That's part of why this book is such trash.
Right.
You know?
It's just, how am I supposed to get anything out of this? It is pure dumb-dummery.
You have to, if you want, quote unquote, if you want to get something out of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to attribute it meaning and beauty that it doesn't quite live up to.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pretend like these things are the way things should be and ought to be, and that they mean more than they say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to put in these extra meanings to make it this beautiful book that makes these beautiful points and says these beautiful things. But really, so far, it's just been a bunch of beautiful bullshit.
It's not even beautiful either.
Well, we make it beautiful.
A beautiful fart. Here's the thing. Like, I am a little bit arrogant, and I pride myself on being a bit of an intellectual. Like, I love a good fart joke and I drop F-bombs. But I mean, I also know how to do sentences good.
Right. Yeah.
So this bothers me. Like, I resent that I have to fucking lower my intelligence level to this dumb level. You know what it reminds me of? Remember when we were going to community college, right? And like, we were frustrated, each in our respective classes, by the fact that it didn't matter how much or how little effort we put in, because people who barely put in any effort would get the same grade as you for putting in extra effort. And so there was really like no fucking incentive to push yourself to do really well, because the teachers were like so impressed that you could string words together correctly that they were like, holy shit, it's the best I've ever read. This should be in a museum. You should get a Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah.
The humanitarian. I've never seen such art. Like, no, I'm merely a dum-dum who happens to be a little bit smarter than the dum-dums next to me.
Right.
Like, I'm not saying I am smart and great and good and knowledgeable, okay? I'm saying that I'm a dum-dum, and there are a lot of people who are dumber than I am.
Wow, that was an amazing sentence you just strung together there.
It was fun to say.
That was great.
It tasted good in my mouth.
Pure literary art there.
It felt good, I'm telling you.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So to get back to this, though, what I'm saying is I resented the teacher telling me, you're great, when I'm like, no, please put red ink on it. I would like to improve. I know I can't possibly be as good as you say I am. Otherwise, I would, be whatever good greatness is.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So when I am reading this and I'm like supposed to get something good out of it, I resent it, because I'm like, no, there is nothing you can offer me. You are dumb. This is dumb. I don't want to do group projects with this, is what I'm saying. Like, this is not up to my caliber. I'm not necessarily like advanced placement, but I'm also not remedial. That's all I'm saying.
And you've got people that will defend it and say, look, it's been translated a million different times. It's, it was written back before people had understandings of modern society. So we're in a different era, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, the apologists are going to say you have to build in apologies for it.
But I feel like I already have.
Right.
I feel like I have, by saying, okay, I'm going to try and I'm going to see what I can get out of this. And I'm trying to pretend that it's real and say, okay, from the who is real, people believe in this. And so, okay, in canon, God is real and this really happened. Got it.
Right.
Like, that is me giving grace. That is me extending, okay, show me what you got.
Sure. Yeah. No.
So
we're trying as hard as we have it in us to try.
And they want me to try harder. And I'm like, no, this needs to reach out to me a little bit. And it's not.
Right.
It's just not.
Right. But that's why they have pastors and preachers and all that bullshit, so that they can tell you what you're supposed to think.
But when I hear them, they are wrong and they are lying and they are bad and they have airplanes.
But they would say the same thing about us.
I don't have airplanes.
Well,
and
no,
I'm not lying.
Sans airplanes, okay?
But also I'm not lying.
No, I know.
They might call me bad and wrong. That is subjective. Sure.
They would say we have an agenda, that we are coming at this from a skewed point of view, is what they would say.
I guess, but I'm like, yes, I do. Okay, so convince me. Work hard. You say I'm worth being saved, right? Give me a convincing fucking argument.
Well, I guess my take has always been this. People claim up and down that the Bible is the Word of God, and that it is the most holy of holy books, and it has all the proof of God that you'll ever need, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if that's the case, as I'm reading through it, I should be a little bit more convinced than I am that God is real.
Yes.
I feel like the book itself should reach out to me. I know without a doubt that I am smarter than a lot of the pastors out there.
Yes.
I'm sure that there's some that are smarter than me as well.
Oh, but, I'm sure that there are many well-educated people out there that know the Bible we can't even remember the names of the fucking people that we've already read.
Sure.
So obviously we're not.
Well, but this isn't a memorization contest either.
No, but I'm just saying, they could pull fucking verses out of their asses and spit them at us, and then I would feel stupid, even though I know that what they're saying does not line up.
I think so. And just to go down this a little bit, when I first started wanting to read the Bible and we wanted to get into this, part of me did want to learn verses that I could toss out and be like, so it says here that da-da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da-da, right? Mm-hmm. But as I'm reading through it, while I have come across some things that are really funny and things that I would love to use, here and there, generally speaking, I think it's more important to understand the overarching message that is in the Bible and how I react to it than it is to understand specific verses to place for an argument. Because I could place in an argument anything from anything and make it sound valid.
Yes.
You can take snippets of it. It's called taking things out of context, right?
Yes.
So the larger context is reading the entire thing and taking it as a whole piece of literature that you are supposed to apply as the Word of God, as whatever it is presenting itself as. Unfortunately, I don't think it's living up to the standard that it has, that people want it to live up to.
Obviously, because this book has done more to turn me from vaguely spiritual and kind of agnostic to fucking hardcore atheist and angry that I wasted my time giving it a chance.
Well, that's what most people say. If they read the Bible themselves, it turned them harder towards the atheism.
And I wanted to find something beautiful. I wanted to find, obviously not in every single page, obviously not in every single story or every single book. But we're only partway through the Old Testament. So I guess, maybe I'm speaking too soon. But okay, halfway through the fucking Old Testament, I still have not found anything where I could sit back and say, oh, okay.
That's a beautiful concept. That's a beautiful idea.
I really appreciate
those
that.
words were just completely...
I'm moved.
Yeah,
I am moved.
Right, I'm moved.
I might not believe in God, but I am moved. And now I have a little bit of better feeling about it.
Right.
And I'm not even getting a little spark of that.
Well, there's something in every single chapter, in every single book for sure, that we can take issue, that we have taken issue with regard to how God treats this person or that person, or reacts to this, that, or the other.
Or the inhumanity of it all.
Right. Right. So there's literally not been one book of the Bible, and probably not even one chapter of the Bible hardly, that we have agreed with. Right. We have never, I don't want to say never, because we've done over 600 episodes now. Mm-hmm. But I don't ever remember finishing a chapter and saying, that's exactly correct. Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be. Not once.
No, at best, I've said, well, that was dull.
Right, yeah. We definitely had some dull ones.
But that's the best. That's the kindest thing.
The only chapters I can think of that could be said, that was correct or that was, whatever, would be the ones where they were talking about the plans and how to build something. Like, well, the measurements probably work out correctly and that's good and whatever.
But we came out of that going, that was dull.
It was definitely dull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
pointless,
sorry, but
really.
Yeah. Because what, you're going to build it again?
Right.
I mean, God promised that that's not going to happen again. So why do we need the measurements? We're not going to need the fucking ark again, are we?
No.
So ...
Right. Moreover, if somebody did build the ark again, no one would take it as an actual, like, I can't imagine somebody creating, like, trying to, even if, okay, let's just assume religion is real, right?
Okay, sure.
If Jesus came back today, this world would not accept him.
No, not at all.
No.
I mean, he's brown, so you could stop there.
More than that, though.
No, but I mean, just on appearances alone, he's brown. Done.
Right. He would be sent to a loony bin. He'd be, whatever. I mean, it's not going to happen. But I mean...
He would be persecuted by the very people he had been sent to save.
Right.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that was Job chapter 35.
It sure as fuck was.
And tomorrow is Saturday, and we'll be back with...
Q&A Saturday.
And then on Sunday, we'll be doing our special...
Patreon.
Trying out something new here.
I'm trying to jingle.
Yeah.
And what do you think? You like it?
I mean, it's,
you don't like any of them, honestly.
No, I really don't. But it's okay.
Well, I think that Patreon. I really like that. I think that's the new jingle for Patreon.
All right.
So that's Sunday.
And I'll get the weekly replay done that day, and then we'll be back on Monday with
Job chapter 36.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Okie dokie. Husband.
Wife.
Do you know what today is?
Well, it's Saturday.
It is. So it's Q&A Saturday.
That's right. And what are we going over today?
Well, we didn't have any specific question.
Didn't we?
So, no, we didn't. We were pissed because this Elihu kid just comes out of nowhere.
Right.
And it was frustrating. And we were like, who the fuck?
Right.
And so that
Elihu?
Elihu? Who you, Elihu? So, I was trying to look for some question to answer. And at first I started just do another summary of the chapters we covered but then I decided, hold on a sec.
Okay.
Because I stumbled onto something about Elihu.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, so we're going to talk about him and we're going to talk about each of the guys.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get on into this.
All righty.
It all started with Mom. She's always had a way of making everyday moments feel like an adventure. So this Mother's Day, Kate Spade New York is here to help you thank Mom and all the mother figures in your life. From our newest arrivals, like springy dragonfly-adorned handbags and jewelry, to gifts under $100, to the best sellers on Mom's Most Wanted list, there's something for everyone. Maybe you can even treat yourself, too. Shop the Mother's Day gift guide at katespade.com.
From the gas pump to the grocery store, inflation is everywhere. Seriously, make it stop. Thankfully, there's one company out there that's giving you a much-needed break. It's Mint Mobile. As the first company to sell premium wireless service online only, Mint Mobile lets you order from home and save a ton with phone plans starting at just $15 a month. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/switch. That's mintmobile.com/switch.
Okay, so first, let's just talk a little bit about the book of Job and the way it's set up.
Okay. Yep.
So it's basically split into 3 different sections. There's the prologue, which is chapters 1 and 2, and that's where, God and Satan are doing their little chit-chat.
Yeah.
Okay, then there's the dialogue, and that's where...
All too familiar with that.
Yeah, it's where they're all talking and taking turns talking at each other.
Right.
That is the bulk of this book.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's chapters 3 through 31.
Okay.
Okay. Then chapters 32 through 42, which is the rest of the book, is the verdicts. So we finished up the dialogue, chapter 31, on Monday.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the week, we got into the verdicts.
The verdicts, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's where he's being judged or whatever.
Doesn't feel like it yet, exactly.
No, but we're only in the beginning stages of it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the prose narratives, which is the prologue and the epilogue at the end, which is part of the verdicts, those date to before the 6th century BCE.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
The poetry section, which is the arguments of the friends, the dialogue,
right,
has been dated to between the 6th and the 4th century BCE.
Okay.
So they were not written
at the
same time.
Got it.
And then chapters 28 and 32 through 37, which is Elihu, those were added later.
Interesting. So that's why he came in late.
Yes, that is correct. He was late because he wasn't there.
Got it.
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
So chapter 32 is where we begin Elihu's verdict.
Sure.
And that's chapters 32 through 37.
Which we have not got to yet.
Right. So Monday and Tuesday, chapters 36 and 37, we'll finish up Elihu.
Okay.
Which, sorry for the spoiler, there's a little bit more Elihu to go.
Right.
Which, that sucks.
Sure.
So my next note says, whomst the fuck is Elihu anyway?
Right.
And I had to say that because I love my notes at myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the name Elihu means he is my God. El and then Ehu. And El is God. He's the only character in the book of Job whose name is mentioned in full, including the patronymic, the father name, his family name.
Yeah.
His identity as a Boozite, remember we kept calling him a boozy? Or a boozer.
Right.
Places his origin in Edom. Okay. Now, he's called a Buzzite because he's from the tribe of Buz. Buz was the father of Uz from back in Genesis chapter 22.
Okay.
And Buz was also one of Abraham's nephews.
Okay.
Okay. So he's from that descendant. He's the son of Barakel and a descendant of Buz, which I just said.
Sure.
Okay. Now, Elihu, as we already stated, is not mentioned in the prologue.
Right.
Okay. And his speeches contradict the opinions expressed by his friends, which we kind of didn't get.
Right.
Like, we thought he was saying just more of the same.
Yeah.
It is kind of different. I'm going to get into that in a minute.
Okay.
So I'm really glad I looked into this because it helps clarify some of the things that we misunderstood.
Got it. Yeah.
His speeches contradict the opinions expressed by his friends, and that it is impossible that the righteous should suffer, all pain being a punishment for some sin. Okay. That's what his friends were saying.
Sure.
It's impossible that the righteous should suffer because all pain is only punishment. So if you're being punished, it's because you sinned.
Okay. Yeah.
So rather than stressing the idea that suffering is a punishment for sinful actions, Elihu concentrates on Job's sinful reaction to his undeserved suffering.
Okay. All right.
I didn't catch that.
Well, and we kind of commented actually on that earlier on, like when Job was talking, we're like, damn, he's kind of saying some shit against God.
Yes.
So, I mean, that kind of
tracks. Yes. And there's a reason for that, which I'll get to in a minute. Okay. A reason that would have been added. Okay?
Got it.
Now, Elihu states that suffering may be applied to the righteous as a protection against greater sin. So he's saying that sometimes we are going to get pain that's not related to sin. We're just going to get pain because it is to elicit greater trust and dependence on a merciful, compassionate God in the midst of adversity.
Okay.
So sometimes you're not being punished. Sometimes it's just a greater lesson.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's a very today Christian apologist thing.
Right.
And it's
God works in mysterious ways.
Yes, I was just going to say that. Yes. So that way there's an answer for whichever way you choose to go.
Yeah, very convenient.
Now, some writers question the status of Elihu's interruption and sermon because of his sudden appearance and subsequent disappearance from the text. Because once he says his say, he's never heard from again.
Elihu out.
Yeah, he disappears off into the sunset.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Even scholars who regard the book of Job as a literary composition by a single author, which most don't.
Okay.
But even the ones that do tend to see Elihu's speeches as an early addition or commentary to the original book.
Okay. Yeah.
Most scholars consider his section to be a later interpolation, perhaps by a scribe who thought that the book of Job's subject matter ventured too close to blasphemy.
Okay.
Right? And we commented on that.
Right.
So that extra bit was added because somebody was reading it the way we were going, yeah, damn, Job.
Right.
I mean, I feel you, but geez, you are talking
No,
down.
I mean, he was making very good points that a atheist might ask, you know?
Yes.
So, I mean,
somebody came along and penciled in this little extra, you shouldn't question God like that, asshole.
Right.
So, and that tracks.
So this is why Elihu gets his own special, 5 or 6 chapters or whatever.
Yes.
Got it.
He's the moral code.
Okay.
Or whatever.
All right.
He's not mentioned in Job chapter 2, in which Job's friends are introduced, nor is he mentioned at all in the epilogue.
Right.
Okay? Like I said, he just has those massive amounts of chapters that the others don't have and then disappears.
Got it.
Even so, some scholars believe the book of Job was probably written by Elihu. And I'm like, that doesn't fucking make sense, but go off. Okay, so that's all we have to say about about Elihu, because that's all we know. Okay?
Yeah.
But I feel better having looked that up about him.
Yeah, no, that's
because, okay, that makes better sense of what we're reading.
It does.
So then I thought, okay, well, what about these other guys?
Sure.
We never really looked into them much.
Right.
Is there anything special about them?
Is there?
I mean, kinda, I guess.
Guess.
The first one, yeah, just follow me.
All right.
The first one to speak is Eliphaz the Temanite. Okay. He's the first of the 3 visitors to Job, and he came from Teman, which is an important city of Edom. And Eliphaz appears as the representative of the wisdom of the Edomites. Sorry.
Okay.
Blah. His name means El is pure gold, or my God is pure gold, because again, Eliphaz, El is God.
Got it.
It might also mean something more along the lines of my God is separate or my God is remote.
Got it. Okay.
Because, gold is remote. I don't know.
I'm sure. Whatever.
Now, because he spoke first each time, because remember the dialogues were set in cycles.
Yeah.
Where it was 1 Job, 2 Job, 3 Job, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I got that wrong, but it was set in that kind of cycle.
Right.
Okay. Eliphaz was probably the oldest of the friends.
Okay.
Because he was the first to speak each time.
Got it.
So, okay. He appears mild and modest. And yeah, compared to what came after, his first speeches were less attacky.
Right.
They were still not cool, but they weren't as heated as the rest got.
Right.
So by comparison, he does appear mild and modest. His primary belief was that the righteous do not perish. They live forever or whatever.
Sure.
He also believed that the wicked alone suffer, and in equal measure as to how they have sinned. So
got it.
To him, it's very simple, black and white.
You sinned, obviously, because you're being punished.
Yeah. And you're being punished a lot, therefore you must have sinned a lot.
Right.
So what? There it is.
Right.
There is no
very
further...
clear to me, and so that's the way it is.
There's nothing more to ask.
Right.
Okay. So although quick-witted and quick to respond, Eliphaz loses his composure in chapter 22 because, Job kept coming back with, no, but I didn't though.
Right.
And so finally he accuses Job of specific faults. Job yearns for the justice that Eliphaz claims does exist. And so that's an interesting dynamic between them, in that Eliphaz is saying everything is perfect. Everything is the way it's supposed to be.
And Job's like, I wish it was, that I wouldn't be fucking punished.
Exactly. He's like, that would be totally great. And that's what I thought too, until I got punished.
Right.
And it's not black and white, apparently.
Right.
So fuck off.
Something's wrong here, guys.
Yeah, the math ain't mathin'.
Right.
So Job does agree that there should be an immediate punishment of the wicked. So he's like, yeah, I would like that very much. Thank you.
Sure.
However, that simply did not hold true according to Job's observations,
Right.
obviously.
Right.
Okay, so that was Eliphaz.
Okay. Yep.
So the next guy is Bildad the Shuhite.
Okay.
Okay. He's probably a member of a nomadic tribe dwelling in southeastern Palestine.
Okay.
He appears to be a sage who looks to the authority of tradition. And his original intent was consolation, but he too got kind of heated.
In.
Yeah.
Right.
His speeches were largely an echo of Eliphaz, but charged with somewhat increased vehemence because he deemed Job's words so impious and wrathful.
Okay.
So he was like doubling down harder on what Eliphaz had said.
Right. Okay.
Bildad was the first to attribute Job's calamity to actual wickedness by accusing his children of sin to warrant their punishment.
That's right. Yeah.
Them's fighting words, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, how dare?
Yeah.
His brief third speech, just 5 verses in length, remember we thought it was the shortest chapter?
Yeah.
Marked the silencing of the friends. And that's when Elihu comes in.
Got it. So there's only 2 friends.
There's 3 friends.
Okay, but they don't ever mention. So, okay. So someone added this third friend who is Elihu.
No. There's 3 friends plus Elihu.
But the third friend never talked?
No, we're getting to him in a minute.
Oh,
His
sorry.
name is Zophar.
Oh, okay.
I'm not there yet.
All right. I apologize. Sorry.
So there's 4 people plus Job.
Okay.
So there's the 3 friends. There's the weirdo Elihu, and then there's Job.
Okay. Got it.
And then God and Satan.
Sure.
Okay. So anyway, when he gets done, he only says those 5 things, and then he's like, I guess I got nothing else to say, because Job is like, you guys are full of shit.
Right.
You're not right.
Right.
So some scholars believe, because that chapter was so short, they believe that his third speech was an edited fragment of the original one, possibly parts of the original that were given to Job to soften the force of his heresies.
Okay.
So they took from whoever edited this shit, took from what's his name? Bildad.
Yeah.
Bilbo Baggins. Took from him and put into Job's commentary.
Okay.
And I don't really know where that
line was.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it didn't feel off to me, but I mean, I wouldn't know.
Right.
So.
Right.
Okay, so that's all we have on Bildad.
Okay.
Number 3, the third friend, is Zophar the Naamathite. And his name means chirping or rising early.
Okay.
Sure. Naamathite is a Gentile name, suggesting he was from a city called Naama, perhaps in Arabia.
Got it. Okay.
Unlike Bildad and Eliphaz, Zophar only speaks twice. And remember, we did mention that at the beginning, or somewhere one of our Q&As, we did talk about how Zophar is the only one of the friends that doesn't get to speak 3 times.
Right.
And that broke the cycle.
That's right.
Of the dialogue.
Right.
Okay. So he is the most impetuous and dogmatic of the 3, even so.
Yeah.
Zophar is portrayed as more hot-headed than the other 2.
Okay.
He is the first to accuse Job directly of wickedness.
Yeah, I remember this, and I was very not happy about it. Yeah. I'm like, you don't know. You don't know these things.
Right. He even suggests that his punishment is too good for him.
Wow.
That he deserves worse.
Wow.
Yeah. Not only he deserves to be punished for whatever the fuck he did, but now he deserves even more punishment for fucking complaining about being punished. Yeah. Is what Zophar's saying.
Got it.
So he rebukes Job's presumption in trying to find out the unsearchable secrets of God.
Okay.
And he's like, how dare you?
Right. Right.
He promises peace and restoration if he offers penance and stops his evil ways.
Right.
Because, Zophar knows.
Yeah.
He does not have a third speech, and some scholars have suggested that parts of Job's speeches actually constitute this third reply.
Oh.
So, much like with what happened to Bilbo Baggins, or Bildad.
Yes.
They probably took from the guy and gave his speeches to Job.
Right. Okay.
So I don't know why, and I don't know what purpose that could have possibly served.
Sure.
But that's all I really had. I just thought it was kind of interesting to talk about each of these guys in a frame of like who they are and what they were looking to accomplish why.
They're a big part of the book, so we should probably know as much as we can know about them.
And now we do.
Yeah. So
Elihu was the most interesting, so I probably should have ended with him and not led with him.
Yeah.
Because now I'm like, and those other three. The end. So sorry about the soft landing there.
So anyway, that was our Q&A for today.
Yes, it was our Q&A Saturday.
And we will be back tomorrow for those of you who are patrons with our
Patreon.
Yeah, that.
I don't think that's what I did last time.
It's
but
close enough, I guess.
Sure.
Anyway, and then I'll get the weekly replay together. And we'll be back on Monday with
Job chapter 36.
All right. We'll see you guys then.
Yep. Bye. Welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
And I'm wife.
Together, we're reading the Bible for the very first time.
We grew up without religion and wanted to know what all the fuss was about.
Well, what have we learned so far?
That God is a dick, and apparently some people believe in talking donkeys.
We're not trying to pass ourselves off as experts.
Nope, we're just reading the Bible for the first time and giving our first take reaction.
If you'd like to join us in this venture, you might consider starting at episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in wherever you like.
All right, let's go read the Bible.
Yeah, let's get to it. Husband!
Wife!
Do you know what we're doing now?
Well, we're doing a Patreon, but it's late.
It is late for the Patreon.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was tired.
I know you were.
I fell asleep. I was fuck this shit, I'm going to bed.
Yeah, sorry.
So, sorry everybody.
Husband needed his nappy time.
I did. So, what are we doing our Patreon over?
Okay, so we recently saw the movie, what's it called? Knock at the Cabin.
Yes, and we both wanted to see this very much because we had both read the book.
Which is called The Cabin at the End of the World by Paul Tremblay.
Right, which is one of your favorite authors.
Because he wrote A Head Full of Ghosts, which is like my top 5 favorite books.
Oh, I know.
Ever.
I know.
It's so good.
I've only heard that a million times.
You enjoyed it when I made you read it.
Did I read that?
Yes.
Which one was that? I don't think I ever read that one.
Yes, you did. A Head Full of Ghosts. It was the one with, okay, we'll get into this discussion in a minute. But anyway, you did, I promise.
Okay, all right.
And they mentioned towards the end of the movie that the people that were the invaders represented the 4 men of the apocalypse, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse,
right.
Which I did not get from the book, and I did not get in the movie until they said it, and it just enthralled and entranced me.
Right.
And I wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Okay. Well, let's, hopefully you guys read this book. There's going to be some spoilers, I believe.
Yeah, we will repeat this, but yes, if this is one that you have not read the book or seen the movie, you will want to skip this.
Yeah,
for
bow
now.
out.
Yeah,
so.
and no harm, no foul, no hurt feelings.
Right.
Super spoilers ahead, you guys.
All right, so that being said, let's go ahead and get on into this.
Okie dokie.
All right.
Okay, so I was really excited about the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yes, you were.
I was so excited about it.
You definitely were.
And I don't know a lot about those guys because we haven't got there yet. Those guys appear in the book of Revelation.
Right, yeah. Most of our knowledge of the 4 horsemen is mostly...
from Good Omens.
Or various cultural references.
Right, exactly. So. But in most recent times, it would be from Good Omens.
Right,
So another great book and limited series that you should see. Although it's
definitely
season 2, it got approved for season 2 and they're making it. So
very excited.
Yeah, you guys should totally read the book and see the show.
Yeah, if you haven't, it's well worth it.
Yeah, Good Omens, good stuff. Where were they going? Oh yeah.
4 horsemen.
4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So I thought I would tell you a little bit about them.
Okay.
Those 4 horsemen guys.
Sure.
Do you mind?
I don't mind.
Okay. So I guess this guy John has some kind of revelation, and that's why it's called the Book of Revelation.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's, the New Testament is like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, those guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's one of those Johns or if it's a different John.
Got it.
I'm not there yet, so
okay.
Spoilers, I guess, whatever.
Right.
But he has this guy John who may or may not be a Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Sure.
He has a revelation, and there's these seals. Oh, that gets into another great movie. Have you ever seen The Seventh Sign?
Yeah, Seven. You mean?
No.
Oh.
No.
No, then I don't know.
The movie Seven is great, and the Signs is great, but those are not the movies I'm talking about.
I've never seen Seven Signs that I'm aware of.
Okay, The Seventh Sign had Demi Moore in it, and she's pregnant, and this guy comes and he's delivering the 7 seals of heaven that were foretold in the Revelation, the Book of Revelation.
Okay. Yeah.
And as he breaks each seal, the next part of the apocalypse happens.
Got it.
So that's another really great movie, although it was not received very well. But it's a great story about this whole thing happening in modern times.
Okay.
Although it was like the 80s or 90s, so modern is questionable, but still.
Sure.
I really like that movie, even though it didn't do well.
Got it.
Just trying to lower expectations and be honest.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the horsemans. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, the first horseman rides a white horse and carries a bow as a figure of conquest, war, pestilence, or death.
Okay.
He's most often referred to as pestilence.
Okay.
He's also given a crown, which may represent the Antichrist or false prophets in general.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in Good Omens, it wasn't pestilence. It was pollution in the place of pestilence, who was retired as a horseman upon the discovery of penicillin, which I find hilarious. But in the movie of Knock at the Cabin, that would be represented by Leonard, who was wearing a white shirt, and he's a coach, and that represents guidance, and that would like go against conquest, like leadership.
Because they were representing the opposite of the four horsemen, essentially.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. So the second horseman carries a sword and rides a red horse as the creator of civil war, mass slaughter, spilled blood, conflict, and strife. And oh no, what happened?
Well, this is a special Patreon episode, actually, which means that they need to go to Patreon and subscribe as a patron in order to listen to it.
Okay, well, I guess that we are going to go do that now.
Yeah, just head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse, become a member for as low as $2 a month, and you'll have access to all these special things and goodies too. So, go do that.
So this was just a teaser.
Yeah, teaser.
Okay, just
Bye.
checking.
Oh,
Bye.
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 Hey, wife, I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep, we have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.